so fast! Before we get this courtroom chaos underway, I opened a brand new Discord server, free this time, so if you'd like to join, the link is in the description, and I'll see you there. Now let's get this episode started.
It's time to
Big Five. I should never have hired those corporate clowns. How could they be outdueled by these two in a virtual world where I make all the rules?
Really don't know what Noah was expecting with this one. I mean, they're here in the first place because they got demolished by the fusion monster. And by the fusion monster, I mean the hardest fusion monster to make in the game right now.
Let me explain.
There's nothing to explain. You five have failed me for the last time. Now you're all fired.
No, don't do that, sir, for we have 18 episodes before this filler arc is over, and 11 before you even duel.
Oh, really? I thought counting was Crump's thing.
Well, I guess we really are useless.
Your slick lawyer talk won't get you out of this one, Johnson, so don't even try it.
Extremely overjoyed that Noah just mentioned Johnson's the lawyer just then. Because out of all the big five, I'd say Johnson's judge man, courtroom, and lawyer puns just don't make it obvious enough.
I must dispose of you all.
Please, Noah, don't do it.
The voice acting from Johnson is just weird. Please, Noah, don't do it. It sounds like he found the in-between between sounding like he cares and doesn't care at the exact same time.
Kybercraft 3, do you read me? Is anyone out there?
Still can't get through? What's the deal?
Listen, this place was designed to isolate us from outside contact.
So he attempts to reach out to the real world and then immediately explains it to Mokuba like he knew it all along. Why'd he try it then?
Hear me? I'll kick your big business backsides. I'm tired of waiting for you suit-wearing, deal-making, pencil-neck geeks.
Brooklyn Rage! It's only 3 minutes in and Joey has already kicked down a wall, kicked open a door, and at this point I think we should just call him Joey Van Damme.
My.
All right.
Flashback.
What's up?
Don't you know where you are?
Mai's been gone for so long her voice changed. Mai slowly transmogrifying into a man with a receding hairline is worth 5 sins. Also, I have 2 comments here from Insane Mikayoshin and Spartan117 pointing out that Joey literally just got catfished. And this is a grave mistake by Johnson in my opinion because he's messing with Joey's Mai. And that's basically an open invitation with big, beautiful, glittery letters that says, "Hi, my name is Johnson, nice to meet you, please rip off my nuts."
Joseph, your presence is requested at the trial of the century.
Oh god, being summoned to jury duty? Now that one's worth 10 sins.
Trial of the century? Who's getting sued?
Oh, have you not heard, Joseph?
Oh, well, bad.
No, not that. But yes, Joey, have you not heard who's being sued? It's Konami themselves. They stole the concept and misappropriated Rave Dactyl when they made Air Neos, and that's why it's banned.
I'm taking you to court so I can claim your body.
That didn't sound good at all, and I highly doubt that line could even be used as a pickup line on some lawyer woman. Well, I guess if you want to be taken out to court for a restraining order.
Allow me to state the reasons why I deserve the right to take control of your body. And
No! Look, I have had it with you!
Joey just summarized how everyone felt playing Turnabout Goodbyes when Von Karma objected for the 100th time in a row. Oh, please shut the f*** up.
I think you'll change your tune once you've had the opportunity to meet my deck master, so please be seated.
Please be seated, but you placed Joey in the well with the podium. Where's he gonna sit? What this should have been was an all-rise pun, and I actually would have found that very clever.
Order. One more outburst like that, and I'm holding you in contempt of court. Is that clear, Joseph?
Well, have fun finding a bailiff who's insane enough to arrest Joey right now because he's apparently going Super Saiyan.
Let's do this!
Objection.
Hold it! That was the worst objection I've ever heard. Even Phoenix Wright was saying better objection than this when he was a sneezing moron. And don't you even get me started on Apollo Justice's Cords of Steel. I don't know for sure, Johnson, but what I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was! Okay, I'll stop now.
Have my word as your deckmaster that I will serve you well and guide you through this duel.
Awesome! He talks!
Okay, I guess that's cool that the Flame Swordsman can talk and everything, but what's not cool is that Joey and Teia's deckmasters can not only speak, but are also able to assist them with strategy during the duel and even outright tell them what their abilities are. Meanwhile, they had our main man Yugi over there deciphering what Kuri Kuri meant.
If you play that card, I can increase its attack points by decreasing mine.
The Flame Swordsman's deckmaster ability is literally just the Blue Flame Swordsman's effect, but with a smaller boost, which is really just as mediocre here as it is over there.
He's shoots, he scores! Nothing but net!
Joey makes random basketball puns here despite basketball having nothing to do with his character at all. That'd be like if Yugi summoned the Dark Magician and said, "Yes, this duel is in the red zone, for my Dark Magician is about to score a touchdown." While some may classify this maneuver as being a simp, I for one classify it as chivalry, so that's one sin off for me. However, I will have to give that sin back, because this is just another instance of boy giving a girl his jacket cliche.
You're right. But if I can beat one of those creeps in a duel, then so can they.
Does Yugi have to pee? What is he doing jumping up and down like this all of a sudden? I guess you could say he's reacting to the cold, but what kind of person reacts to cold weather like this? Like, how many people do you see jumping up and down like this when it's cold in February?
Why are you saying it like that?
Like what?
February. It's pronounced February.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Say it right.
Look at the spelling, you dick. What, you want me to skip a whole R?
Some letters are silent, you gnome. Wait, what? Do you say knob like knob?
You're a knob.
Hey, I take offense to that.
Gesundheit, Tristan.
That's what you get for swimming in the lake.
Duke being an asshole to Tristan again, because he wasn't swimming, he was dunked in there whilst actually saving Serenity.
And they're pulling together to find a way out of this place.
Great. Now you got Serenity sick.
The dub altered this back and forth scene.
ホンダなんかデュエルのセンス全くないのよ。
静香ちゃんに風邪移すなよ。風邪じゃねえよ。誰かが俺の噂してんだよ。
うん。静香ちゃんだってデュエルのルールさえまともに知ってるかどうか。
Which is hilarious, and I honestly think I speak for all of us when I say that we all could have done with this scene of Tristan giving Duke the business. Tristan's facial expression, which I'm pretty sure is just a nightmare face when viewed from the side, which is just as terrifying, if not more terrifying. And I mean 5 extra sins on top of the 10 I normally give for nightmare face is kinda terrifying.
After today, I never want to see a virtual tree again.
Well then I guess it's time to abandon the family business because you work with VR.
Let's see where that kid's leading us now.
We're back at home at Kaiba Corp.
Apparently Kaiba Corp is also their home. Imagine if all CEOs lived at their company, then you'd have Elon Musk living at Tesla instead of Donald Trump's dungeon.
What?
Gozaburo's dramatic spin-around reveal cliche.
This little game of yours is of no use to me.
My software could make this company billions of dollars!
That's enough, you little brat!
Abuse. Also, if we look at the sub, there's another sin here for physical abuse. Also, the context of this scene has been radically altered in the dub, and in my opinion actually makes Kaiba look a little bit stupid in that he's trying to make gaming products in a weapons manufacturer. Which actually makes Gozaburo's little outburst here kind of justified. Like, wouldn't anyone be frustrated like, what the hell, son, don't you know what kind of company I'm running? When in reality, the sub makes Gozaburo out to be the villain he's actually being because he's really taking Seto's inventions and turning them around into weapons of war and general douchebaggery. Evidently, after Seto Kaiba overthrew Gozaburo of his company and had him f***ing kill himself, apparently Pegasus stripped Gozaburo of his coat because they are identical. Either that or rich pricks have a similar sense in fashion, I don't know.
Guards, take my stepson away!
Oh, hey, look at that, it's Chemo. I haven't seen you in a while, how you been, Needlehead? Strangle any kids lately? Well, I sure hope not, because 1, that's a very bad habit, and 2, Seto Kaiba is gonna hit you with his elbow and judo throw you again.
Take my stepson away!
Even Gozaburo calls Seto his stepson when he's his freaking adoptive son, and a stepson is what happens when you marry someone who already has a son, you dumb sons of bitches!
Don't be sorry, you old fool!
You're gonna regret this cliche.
Yet another amateur move on his part.
Johnson is overly cocky calling Joey an amateur for beating his face in like anybody would, pro or beginner. I really don't know what I was expecting. His name is Johnson. His parents named him after a euphemism for cock. He's being very Johnsonian. I don't like it.
Clear the courtroom!
Yeah, clear the courtroom!
I'm giving up 1,000 life points to activate my special power. Now you must clear the field of all your monsters, so you're back where you started. Next, you'll lose 500 life points for each monster you were forced to remove from the court.
And there it is, the Deckmaster ability we all know and hate. Blader Smosh, Total Drama WWE, Jertra 9090, and Lucario 1121 all recognize this Deckmaster ability as the most OP Deckmaster ability to Shinato's arc. Seriously, a monster nuke with the burn damage is insane for just 1,000 life points. More on this later, but for now, Judge Prodigy gives you 10 sins, and the jury composed of my fans gives you an additional 13. Yuka's head looks way too large in this shot.
I'm dueling one of the big 5.
Joey delivers this line as if he realizes he's a side character and is just proud he's dueling one of the main threats for a change.
Fuse together my mystical elf and my curtain of the Dark Ones.
Whatever monster he's creating will get sucked right into my bottomless trap hole.
Meet Camion Wizard.
Tough luck, Joey. You're dueling against the one person on this earth that uses fusion monsters this shitty. And how exactly does an elf in a curtain with hands coming out of it make this thing?
Sinister Justice. This allows my fusion monster to attack in the same turn in which it was summoned. Camion Wizard, attack his life points directly.
His life points are going up.
So it removes fusion monster summon sickness and gives you life points when they deal damage? What an oddly specific and bullshit card this is.
If it wasn't for that trap card, I would have won this duel.
Trap card? You mean Deckmaster ability? Because Johnson hasn't played a single trap this duel. Cliche, the evil laugh is. I hope that was a better Yoda impersonation.
So far, all of the evidence points to your defeat. I find you guilty of poor dueling.
Objection! Johnson. You know, you really ought to use your winnings to spring for a mirror. Because you ought to look at yourself in one, before you spout baseless conjecture of Joey being a poor duelist. Matter of fact, I have evidence that frames the true person guilty of poor dueling. Take that! These two comments. Direct 1455 highlights the sheer imbalance in Deckmaster abilities, with yours being wildly superior with zero drawbacks, as well as this comment here from Total Drama WWE, which calls out your fusion monsters as the laughable things that they are, as well as your deck building skills, which are dubious at best with your deck composed of only spells and normal monsters. Ergo, Johnson, we all see you for what you really are, and that is one sad, pathetic, poor duelist! Joey is holding his cards impossibly fanned out, with this one on the side even floating in midair.
Leading question. This card adds 800 attack points to any monster that's made up of two other monsters fused together.
What? Why not just say fusion monster? It's already a given that it's two monsters already fused together.
Yeah!
Perhaps he should take a closer look.
What?
And with this bullshit rigged dice thing, Johnson adds to the tally of duelists that Joey has faced that are complete and utter cheaters. And talking about this rigged dice fiasco, I actually have a very interesting comment from Blader Smosh about this, saying that Joey gets a little too lucky at times and that it's actually a little refreshing to see him get unlucky for a change. But the downside being that when it's done through nefarious reason, kinda takes away the whole shock of him getting unlucky. Think back to Duelist Kingdom when Joey dueled against Bones, when he actually failed the Time Wizard for once. Not only was it a shocker, but it also left us wondering how Joey was gonna make a comeback. So yeah, that suspense is absolutely nullified when Johnson cheats.
No! My Panther Warrior!
Joey is a master ventriloquist because he just said that with his teeth grit.
What's the matter? Did little Joseph use up all of his best monsters during the first 5 minutes of the duel?
Apparently 20 plus real-life minutes of episode is equivalent to 5 Yu-Gi-Oh! Minutes.
Alright! It worked!
Not quite.
What did I do to deserve all this?
Johnson is the kind of lawyer to even make Edgeworth say, okay, this is a bit much. Because yeah, sure, Edgeworth will update an autopsy report here and there, but Johnson will forge one 100 times over. He'll do that in the middle of the trial.
I bet you wish you'd drawn this card.
Foreshadowing. Holy JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Batman. The shading on the Flame Swordsman's every fiber of muscle makes him look as buff as a Pillar Man. Jeez, this is like the third time. We already know that Johnson is the Judge Man. They don't have to show us this whole two-faced Johnson Judge Man combo thing.
You think you can wear us down by toying with our emotions, but you obviously don't know who you're dealing with.
Really? I'd say I know exactly who I'm dealing with, Seto.
Actually, no, you don't. This is the same guy who watched his father jump out a window, had a person commit suicide over the Blue Eyes White Dragon card, yes, and also causing emotional shock to an old man and his own brother. Sure, one can say that Attempt destroyed that evilness, but the point is that Kaiba is still a bad mofo who won't just fold at touchy moments. The classically cliche glowing white anime glasses.
Ah, man, it's Tails!
Joey got so perturbed by that coin flip that he got teleported right into a 1990s wallpaper. Now, I don't know what it is, but there's apparently something about courtrooms that just makes people want to point.
It's still my turn!
What? No, it isn't, Joseph. It's Johnson's turn. You're just activating during his turn. Holy spell cards. He has an entire hand full of them. Well, I guess Johnson's really the one gambling, because with his deck composed of apparently 90% spell cards, he's extremely lucky to have drawn the exact vanilla monsters he needed to make an equally as trash vanilla fusion monster. Because otherwise, with this trash hand, he's SOL. And I'm not talking about Akira's company.
I'll play my reinforcement of the army magic card first, allowing me to add a warrior to my hand.
Rhoda is a very strong staple in real life, even to this day, and here it's being used to search arguably one of the worst warrior monsters ever made. And for what? To make yet another laughably bad fusion monster.
2 down. And 2 more scapegoats left.
Not if I stop you first.
Objection. Your turn is skipped. You called heads, but you got tails, Joseph.
Objection! Although the defendant's turn is indeed skipped, I beg the question no one in this courtroom is bothered to ask. What exactly is the reason why? You see, Johnson, it's no shock that Joey's luck has seemingly run out after countless duels, but all the evidence points back to you being the culprit behind this bad luck. And I have evidence. Indeed, the evidence that you are behind this streak of bad luck is... Take that! Comments from my subscribers. I have here a collection of comments from Blader Smosh, Insane Makaioshin, and Jertra, all pointing the finger at you for cheating in this duel against Joey. We all saw it with our own eyes, and it's time for you to pay for your crimes. Take that!
And dismiss your last scapegoat!
No! I'm done for!
Case closed. Do you admit defeat?
No! This duel won't be over until your life points reach 0, Jansen!
Well, actually, Jansen already won. Blader Smosh is correct. Defusion is already in hand, and he can actually use it here to defuse this horrible fusion monster and bring out the horrible fusion materials and swing for game. As horrible as they are, Johnson has won, and that's amazingly bullshit.
No way am I giving up! Ow!
Boxer Knuckle. Not fun, ladies and gentlemen. Not fun at all.
Don't give up!
That was the fakest don't give up I've ever heard.
Hold on, Mokuba.
Random TV in the middle of a desert.
The Honorable Judge Man is nothing but a fraud who's been cheating you from the very beginning. He's been using my virtual technology to tamper with your dice roll.
I have a fact here from Insane Makaioshin. The fact that Noah allowed Johnson access to the random number generator and not expect him to cheat with it. Really? What the hell was Noah thinking? This guy's a lawyer. They'll do anything to win a case.
I brought you 5 into my world with the understanding that under my leadership you would defeat Seto Kaiba and his little friends. But if you cheat, I can't prove that I'm truly more deserving than him.
Well, I do know what Noah's going to do about 14 episodes later. For right now, I'm actually going to give him 1 sin-off for berating, and even is going as far as to want to disqualify Johnson for cheating. Just saying, it's very refreshing when an enemy has a sense of honor for a change.
But my stepfather, Gozaburo, has been missing without a trace for over 5 years!
Again, censoring Gozaburo's death. Okay, to me, this whole missing thing really mischaracterizes people like Seto's biological parents. Saying they went missing or left them alone just makes it sound like they went out for milk or cigarettes and just never came back again, making them look like irresponsible parents, when in reality they're just dead. And the same effect happens here with Gozaburo. He's not there because he's deep sixed.
Yoo-hoo! What? I'm willing to forgive Judge Gruesome, as long as he agrees to duel fair and square. Noah, if he wins, you still get to prove your strength. And if I win, I get to prove that Joey Wheeler doesn't sit back and let freaky-looking frauds get the best of him!
Joey the man, the myth, the legend still wanted to carry on despite the duel being handed over to him on a plate just then. Jertra and Blader Smosh, all of us together have Joey taking off quite a few sins here for this power move that cements Joey as the dude. Also, Joey hitting that Richter Belmont Rondo of Blood pose.
Wow. Sure beats the subway.
You guys got that thing I just said just then? You know, subway? Because I'm from Brooklyn.
Well, looky here.
Oh, look at that card. How neat. I wonder what it does.
Your plan won't work!
Two-faced evil laugh cliche. Mokuba and Kaiba huddled around this TV watching this courtroom duel like it's OJ's verdict about to be delivered.
All this suspense is driving me crazy!
Well, if you can't take it, just imagine how Joey feels.
Yugi just yelled at Taya for no reason.
I pick your left hand.
Are you sure? I mean, really sure?
I'm positive I haven't picked your monster card. Now please show me the card in your left hand. No, wait.
Yeah?
I changed my mind.
That's gotta hurt.
Johnson, the seasoned veteran lawyer, getting psyched out by the "are you really sure" strategy that literally elementary school students pull. Thank you for that one, Lucario, and the aura is with you.
This can't be! I never lose in the courtroom. I once convinced a jury that a man who was terrified of water stole a boat!
Well, that wouldn't be too hard, right? I mean, if he's terrified of water, maybe he's just trying to get over his fear and stole a boat to train himself to not be afraid whilst also staying safe. Jeez, at this rate, I should be a lawyer. Oh, now Joey's an emo. Fist bump? Nah, we shoulder bumping.
Everyone who's trapped here. We are all in this. All of us?
Stop, Joey!
That's not fair! Serenity's never dueled before!
Jeez, I understand Joey's scared for Serenity, but don't strangle the messenger.
Show yourselves! Hear me? I'll kick your big business backsides! I'm tired of waiting for you suit-wearing, deal-making, pencil-neck geeks! I'm sick of this place! It's some kind of door! Maybe I should just knock. Nah. That Marek freak better be keeping his distance from her. I should have known it was one of you.
If you would just take my card, it's all here.
Save it, sleazeball! Well, there's a first time for everything. And there's no way you're escaping to the real world in my body, bud. No! Look, I have had it with you. All your talk is making me dizzy, Johnson. Listen to me. I say talk is cheap, so put your money where your mouth is. Enough with the legal mumbo-jumbo, man. When you dragged us here, you said we were gonna be dueling. So what's all this stuff about trials and taking the stand?
One more outburst like that, and I'm holding you in contempt of court. Is that clear, Joseph?
This guy's guilty of being a real pain in the butt. That is the most annoying monster I've ever seen. She looks just like you do, Johnson. If it wasn't for that trap card, I would have won this duel. Not so fast, Mr. Tall, Dark, and Gruesome. A one? No way! I don't know how you did that, but I got my eye on you.
You almost had him beat once, until he turned things around and whooped ya.
Gee, thanks. Ah! What did I do to deserve all this? It's heads. Ah, man, it's tails! Ah, it's still my turn! No way am I giving up!
Because it can't get any worse.
Hey, Kaya, listen, as far as pep talks go, this is not your best work. How about I tamper with your face, Mr. So-called man of justice, you big fat fake? Joey Wheeler doesn't sit back and let freaky-looking frauds get the best of him. Did you say dueling them? Who's dueling? That's not fair! Serenity's never dueled before! Let's get moving! I'm coming, Serenity! Wait for us!
Come back, Joey!
Johnson's the name. Attorney at law and former chief legal advisor for the Kaiba Corporation, at your service, sir. Your presence is requested at the trial of the century.
Did you say the trial of the century? Who's getting sued?
I'm taking you to court so I can claim your body, and I've never lost a case in my life. Allow me to state the reasons why. Why don't you take the stand so we can begin this trial?
Enough with the legal mumbo-jumbo! So what's all this stuff about trials and taking the stand?
The game of Duel Monsters is like a trial. Justice can be served. I told you, Duel Monsters is like a trial, so we're better to duel than in a courtroom. And when you lose, you'll be sentenced to spend eternity here. Please be seated.
The Honorable Judge Man presiding. Order. One more outburst like that, and I'm holding you in contempt of court.
This guy's guilty of being a real pain in the butt!
Simply raise your right hand. Objection. This court is now in session. Since we're in my courtroom, I call Hysteric Angel to the stand. She'll make sure you get the maximum sentence.
She looks just like you do, Johnson.
Silence. It's time to call your first witness.
This trial has just begun. For it's not the beginning of the trial that counts. It's the final verdict. I just like to watch the defendant squirm.
I call Mystical Elf to the stand.
For when the trial is over, you'll be charged with a lifetime sentence in this virtual prison.
Call your next witness. Clear the courtroom! And what evidence do you have to back that up? Order! This court is still in session.
You're on trial?
You're lucky I don't have you two ejected from this courtroom. Sinister justice. All of the evidence points to your defeat. I find you guilty of poor dueling. Leading question.
In my courtroom, twisting the facts is perfectly legal.
Order in the court. Time to clear the courtroom of your monster. The verdict is in.
We're in my courtroom.
I'll have him dismissed from this trial in no time. Objection. Dismiss your last scapegoat. Case closed. What brings you here? Yes, sir.
The defendant would like to speak.
And with your body under my jurisdiction, your mind will be sentenced to wander this cyber universe for all eternity without fail. Not so fast. This case is closed. Judgment in favor of me. I never lose in the courtroom. I once convinced a jury that a man who was terrified of water stole a boat. How can I be fooled by some kid?
Starting yet another episode off with a first for Yu-Gi-Oh! Sins, and that is a sin in the intro. Now this one was actually commented to me by Dazzling Dice, and the sin is that when it's showing everyone in a row, when it gets to Tristan, it actually shows him when he's possessed by Nesbitt, and I think this is really weird, because why would they do this? Is this the only time when they thought Tristan looked threatening or something? And while I noticed that myself, I never actually pointed it out or thought to point it out, but since Dazzling Dice commented, I'm gonna go ahead and sin it now. So thanks for that, Dazzling Dice man, and keep these viewer-submitted sins coming, everyone, because I love to read them. This episode begins with Yugi running through the same hallway that Mista ran through in the first opening to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind.
Does this tunnel ever end?
A Tem jump scare. Also, speaking of a Tem, what is he doing running alongside Yugi? He's a spirit. You'd think he'd be floating around like Astral, or at the very least just not be there and let the Millennium Puzzle be the mode of transport. Also, Noah doesn't bat a single eye at Yugi stopping to talk to seemingly nobody every 5 seconds. Personally, if I was Noah, I think I'd trapped a schizophrenic in my virtual world.
I have the destination in mind for you.
These things on the armrests are buttons? Noah's giant gorilla hands.
I've already chosen your dueling opponent.
Wait a second, what was that? Oh my goodness, apparently Joey murdered the suit of armor from last episode. Just look at the man, he's guilty, he's looking around to see if anyone else saw what he just did. And now his face is gonna be plastered all over the news, and the parents of that suit of armor are not gonna give up until this monster is brought to justice.
It's the Dark Magician girl, remember? There was a Broadway